Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels, along with my personal blogger page on Facebook, because our Facebook page remains hacked. But I did get good news about that last night. Hopefully that will be resolved coming into the weekend here. But in the meantime, yes, if you are on Facebook, thanks for watching on my blogger page. I hope you're all doing well. Good to see everybody in the comments section. Josh is on Facebook. What's up, Aaron? Good morning. Did you get your Cheesehead Facebook page back? No, Josh, not yet. They are working on it, though. And I'm like I said, we got a good update last night. So slowly but surely, a lot involved with it, but hopefully it'll be back by the weekend. Good morning, everybody in the comments. Good to see everybody. Van Halen 1984, by the way, phenomenal handle. Good morning to you. Ann, good morning. Hope you're doing well. And there in Indy. Rick, how are you, sir? Good to see you. We got Ron LaFleur, brother to Matt. No, I'm kidding. For the Packers starting offensive linemen together make approximately $4 million per season. Talk about salary cap heaven. Well, that's what happens when you invest in young linemen in back-to-back drafts and throughout basically your tenure as GM, as Brian has done. I remember a long time ago when Corey and I were first starting Packer transplants, Michael Lombardi said something that has always kind of stuck with me as far as roster construction goes. And I know some people don't like Michael, and I get that and whatever he does on the media side. But from his time working with the Patriots and like their philosophy, he always said the best teams grow their offensive lines. And I really think the Packers have done a phenomenal job of doing just that, growing their offensive line, making sure that there's always some young talent developing Josh Nijman obviously is the perfect example, but there's others throughout the last couple of years where you can look at this young talent that's on offer. And to your point, it's young, cheap talent. Growing your offensive line is the way to go. Now, sometimes, yes, things happen, injuries, guys don't develop at the rate you hope they would, and you have to go sign a Billy Turner, for instance. But for the most part, the Packers have done a phenomenal job of making sure there are always kind of seeds, right? Seeds in the ground, ready to water and grow and develop them and build that offensive line. It's something, clearly that Brian wants to continue to do. A number of offensive linemen taken in this draft again. So there's no doubt that is their philosophy. And that salary cap part is a big part of it. Now, what's going to be fascinating to watch, now they've paid David Bakhtiari, obviously. He got that third contract. Next up, Elton Jenkins. They made the determination that they could cut Billy Turner, but the next big decision they have to make along that line is most likely, where does Elton play and what do you pay him? Because if he is playing tackle, he's probably going to be making more than he would if he was playing guard. And if I'm Elton's people, I'm saying my guy can play everywhere. So you can't even, really pigeonhole him as far as trying to slot him and compare him to other even left tackles. Left tackle is making all this money. Look at all the money Bakhtiari's making. If I'm Elton Jenkins, folks, I'm saying, well, you got through a season with Elton filling in at left tackle for a while, played at a high level, so he can do it. You've played him at center. He can play left guard. Probably going to play him at right tackle this year. I would suspect he's going to play well. That's gold, man. So he's going to be the first one to really kind of make things interesting along the offensive line when it comes to the salary cap. Randy Nags, what is the game plan on offense this year? As far as I can tell, it's way too early for me to even start guessing. It'll be interesting to go to camp in August and see how they're operating and what the offense is looking like. Now, it's just installs mostly that we get to see publicly, which is obviously nothing to do with game planning and how they want to approach certain defenses or opponents or what have you. But I mean, I don't have any thoughts outside of what's been talked about a lot around this team since the Devontae Adams trade. I think they want to spread the ball around. They're going to have to by necessity. I would hope there's a bit of a emphasis on the running game. You guys know me. I love to run the ball. I think running the ball only helps your older quarterback, helps everything else in the offense. But I don't think they're ever going to be a run-first team with Aaron Rodgers under center, which I understand. 2-time MVP. You want him slinging the rock. I get that. But yeah, I think the recipients of those passes, though, that's the question. And what's the rotation? Who's on the field and how much? Those are the things that they're going to start kind of piecing together, and we'll see how it shakes out once we get through the summer. But I think the offense in and of itself will look pretty similar, hopefully, to what we saw in 2020 or 2021. No, 2020. A little bit more multiple, a little bit more motion, a little less stagnant, a little less 5 wide spread, empty stuff. That's my guess, and that's my hope, and that's my dream. But I never really know. Jeff, what's going on, man? How long do you think it will take our young wide receivers to develop? I remember Devontae struggling early on. We need some patience, I think. I mean, obviously, that's, what I said after the draft. It's very exciting to get this young talent, but you can't expect them to hit the ground running, especially in this offense, especially with this quarterback. Now, that said, there are no excuses. The standard is the standard, as Matt likes to say. And a lot of this will be up to these young men themselves, how much work they put in, how quickly they absorb the playbook, how fast they are able to get on the same page with Aaron Rodgers, and how many reps they're given because of that. Because if you're out there messing up down after down, you're not going to get many more chances. But if you're out there executing and doing what you're told and making the correct adjustments, you're going to get more reps and probably more targets from Rodgers. So, yeah, a large part of it is down to these guys and how much they work and how hard they work. But, yeah, you're right. Devontae certainly came in. I wouldn't say – he struggled relative to the NFL, but he was, no more or less than you see from tons of different wide receivers throughout the NFL. The adjustment to the pro game is a pretty significant one. Although, we've certainly seen some wide receivers lately come in, first-round talents come in and really light it up. I wouldn't expect that from Watson per se. I think it's gonna take some time, but yeah, I think it is to be expected, and that's why I think spreading the ball around is going to be, kind of the watchwords of the season, especially early in the season. I think using the running backs out of the backfield in the passing game is going to be a big key for this offense early on, hopefully throughout the year. And we'll see how quickly these guys develop. But there's no set timetable. Every guy is different. You just hope they're contributing early and building on whatever lessons they need to learn, mistakes that they might make, and they're going to make mistakes. But yeah, I do think, yes, you should expect them to take a while. I don't think there's should be any kind of illusions about that. Todd, what's up, man? Run and rock, good defense. I'm down with this plan. I'm happy to be a part of it. Let's do it. Marshall, what's up? Good morning, Nags. Do you think the Packers sign a vet tight end before the season, or do they roll with what they have? I suspect they roll with what they have. I know Bill Huber had a report a couple weeks ago that Tunyon is expected to be ready to at least practice in a limited capacity by the time training camp starts, which I think is obviously phenomenal news. I still think he'll probably start the year on the PUP, which would mean he would miss the first 6 weeks. And then, it's down to DeGuara developing, getting a little bit more out of him. Clearly, still got big dog there. I love Tyler Davis. What we saw, the little flashes we saw from him last year, I think he'll get a little bit more run. So, it'll definitely be a group effort. Of that, there is no question. But, if there's a vet out there that they think can help intermittently and is dirt cheap and will sign for like a vet minimum type deal, maybe they make that call. But for the most part, I think they're going to roll with what they got. Brandon, what's up? Do you think with having a presumably strong and fast inside backer tandem and Savage's strength coming down to play robber will increase blitz from the inside linebacker? It's an interesting question. All I can go by, right, is the tendencies we saw last year from Joe. And man, he would send big pressures every once in a while, but man, he was pretty loath to send numbers. He really liked sending that 4-man rush and playing different combinations behind it. And I think that was smart of him for the most part. There were a couple times when he sent big blitzes and got burned. Maybe that, kind of made him have a less itchy trigger finger in that regard. But given the difference now, hopefully on the interior and the idea of you've got a lot more athletes on the field, or you should, maybe we see a few more, dogs up front where he probably would have been static before. I guess that's a possibility. I do think Walker can get after the QB. I do think that would be a fun kind of chess piece to play with. up and down the front, like not just in the middle, but all over the place, even on the edge at times. But just as a wrinkle, I don't think he's going to live on the edge in any way, shape, or form. But you can utilize him in a lot of different ways. So I do think it opens things up possibly a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a dramatic jump, though. I still think the foundation is going to be rush 4, play different sets behind in coverage. Michael, thanks for the super sticker. Greatly appreciated. Morning, everyone. What's up, Mike? Steven, you're on Facebook. That's why you don't know. Honest question. What's the $4.99, etc. after the submitters' names? Are viewers paying to ask questions? Yes, Steven. It's called a super chat, and it goes to support everything we do here at Cheesehead TV. It's kind of like a tip, and it's exclusive to the YouTube channel. If you go to the YouTube channel and you look at this video and you look to the side, there's a comment section, and down below there's a $sign. You click that $sign, and then you submit however much money you want, and you get usually get your question read. It's not 1,000%, but usually. Peter, speaking of super chats, thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, why did we let Billy Turner walk without trying to restructure after he played at such a high level? It's a really good question. Lots of different reasons. I do think, Father Time is undefeated. They're getting out early rather than late. Yes, he did play at a high level at a lot, and he saved their bacon. He's absolutely saved their bacon at tackle the last couple of years. No question about it. However, the coming off an injury, salary cap set to be a certain amount. I can't remember. I don't recall seeing a report that they possibly asked him to take a pay cut, but I suspect he would have said no, which would have meant they probably end up cutting him anyway. Older player, they've drafted a ton of young guys. You're always getting better. You're always getting worse. Always. And the other saying that I always say, which I just kind of alluded to, it's better to get out a year too early than a year too late. You're growing your offensive line. Billy was so much a much better signing than I ever suspected when they signed him. There's so much more value as far as his versatility, being able to play both sides of the line, most of the positions at a high level, like you say. He struggled obviously against the premier pass rushers. There's no shame in that. But yeah, I just think, like moving forward, they needed the space, probably wasn't going to take a pay cut, and that was that. That's just that. Obviously, that last part is very much guesswork on my part. But that's a good question. Devontae, thanks for the super sticker. Appreciate it, man. What else we got? Eric, what's going on, man? Thoughts on Wyatt and the Packers getting a deal done this morning? Schefter reported he's the first rounder signed. Oh, that's great. Didn't see that probably happen while I was live, but yeah, I mean, you remember when it was such a big deal, the reporting of guys signing their deals? Like, unless you're drafted to the Chargers, you're getting your deal done. Like, Spanos and company are still like sticks in the mud curmudgeonly about all that shit, but especially at certain positions. But, in the NFL now, the CBA, all of these draft picks are slotted, essentially. I mean, I think if you look at Ken Ingles' Twitter feed, he's got the breakdown of what most guys are going to make already because it's slotted by, where they're drafted. There's some kind of wiggle room, bonus structure, etc. But for the most part, we know what they're going to make. And it has completely taken away the, oh gosh, is the rookie going to hold out nonsense that we went through forever in the NFL, at least when I was growing up, especially when the big money started rolling in. So yeah, no, it's great. I'm happy he got the deal done. But it doesn't, not surprised. It should get done. Like I said, it's slotted stuff now. Greg, what's up, man? Given our need at tight end and with his blocking ability, do you see any chance at transitioning Lazard to tight end? No. They'll use him as a blocker at times. We saw that a bunch last year. You go watch the San Francisco and the Steelers games. Back to back weeks, they got Lazard cracking down and taking out Bosa, taking out the edge rushers for the Steelers. Watt got a handful at times. So yeah, I don't think it's a position change. We'll utilize him in that kind of facet, right? They'll use his physicality. They love him obviously in the run game, but in the pass protection realm as well, depending on the call. Now, maybe he's not in as much now that Devontae's not there and they're being a little bit more multiple. He's going to be out in more routes, but I still think they'll utilize his strengths that way. But a full-on position change, I don't see that. Christopher, what's going on? Matt knows Julio. Any chance? Sammy and Julio. Fire. Emojis. Hearts. So much fun hearing Christopher's comment. I never say never. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's impossible. I do think it make things real interesting at the bottom of the depth chart because Julio ain't playing special teams. So, I guess that would mean you got to get Lazard on teams probably. And he's, Lazard said he will play teams. But yeah, I don't know. He had a pretty lackluster season last year, and he's an older guy, and he hasn't been able to stay on the field, been injured the last few years. Just doesn't seem like the type of signing the Packers would go for it. Now, that said, it's a cheap deal with maybe some incentives and doesn't do anything to their cap. Maybe. It's possible. I'd much rather just bring along Watson, though. Kyle, what's up, man? How hard do you think we pushed to sign Elton in the offseason? Do you think his agent wants to wait until he returns / sees where he is playing? Oh, yeah, I think I would suspect they'll wait till next summer. Now, maybe they talk during the season. That's as things are ongoing. That's entirely possible. But I think they'll wait, see how he comes back from injury, and assuming he picks up where he left off, essentially. Maybe they get talks started towards the end of the year, but I definitely think they'll get something done next summer. But I would doubt they get it done anytime soon. Dave, what's going on, man? Whoa, where are you? Got that one. Michael, welcome. Drafting Wyatt, decreased chance of signing BJ Raji. The Raji lives on. No, there's always a chance for BJ Raji to return. Come on now. This is Cheesehead TV. We believe in the eternal BJ Raji. It is going to be the year of our Lord 2074, and we're going to be talking about BJ Raji possibly returning. Come on now. Come on. Dave, what's up, man? Watson seems like a good fit for what LaFleur likes to do. He blocks, runs, end arounds, jet motion, stretch the defense vertically. All of that, Dave. Yes. He is being exciting to watch with the ball in his hand. He is exciting to watch with the ball not in his hand. When he's on the perimeter, he is a willing blocker. You've seen guys who are just like kind of throw themselves at the corner and maybe get in the way. This dude likes to put his nose in there and likes to block. So, yes, I am all in. Whoa. Got that one. A few more here. Dave, what's up? Any chance Campbell feels weird about the Walker pick? Like, hey, they drafted a younger, more athletic clone of me. Did you see the contract they just gave him? No. He's fine. He's doing A-okay. And look, it's the NFL. There's always competition. There's always someone gunning for you, gunning for your spot. You don't think that's the truth? Talk to Brett Favre about playing through all those injuries. Man, no. I don't think he feels weird about it at all. Now, if they had brought him back on a one-year deal, some kind of prove-it thing after last year, maybe, the market doesn't materialize out in free agency and he comes back to Green Bay on a one-year deal, and then they drafted this kid, then maybe he might feel a certain way. But they handed him, it's supposedly a 5-year deal, but in actuality, it's like every other NFL deal. It's like 2 years, and then we'll reconvene. But they've made a commitment to Devondre. I don't think he would feel weird about that at all. I think, if anything, he's going to welcome having some fresh meat there on the inside to help him tear apart these running backs and tight ends. Eric, what's going on, man? How do you feel about the cornerback depth chart outside of Jair, Rasul, and Stokes? Do you think they need to add anyone, or is it just something to keep an eye on? Yeah, I would suspect they are going to continue to look throughout the offseason to maybe augment that position, but not in a, go make a big trade or a huge signing, nothing of that nature. But I think they'll kick the tires on whatever's out there, and they'll see how guys are practicing throughout the offseason, the, Shamar Jean Charles of the world. But yeah, look, you can't have ultimate depth at every single position. And the Packers have some serious fucking depth at the top of the cornerback depth chart. I mean, their first 3 corners, the ones that you mentioned, are lights out, as good as any in the league. I mean, you're already a step ahead of most teams in that regard. Now, is it a drop-off after that? Yeah, no question. But, that's going to happen. That's just roster construction. You can't be stacked at every position. This isn't Madden with the salary cap turned off. So, and I know that's not what you're intimating, but yeah, no doubt they'll continue to look. As Brian says, it's a 365 proposition, right? So keep an eye on it. Is definitely, I think, the right way to go about it. What else we got? What's up, Dustin? Met OBJ at the Suns game last night. Asked if he's coming to Green Bay, and he smiles and said, "Wait and see." Means nothing, but was cool. I think he'd love to play with Rodgers. I don't know how much he'd love to play in Green Bay, but I think he'd love to play with Rodgers. Quinn, what's going on? Morning, Nags. Anything with an Alexander extension? Nothing. Like I've said a couple days ago, I would suspect probably right before camp. They like to do those things where they sign it and trumpet the news as guys are kind of, either taking the field or making their way or blah, blah, blah. But we've seen that they've done that a couple times. They did it with Devontae. They did it with Jordy Nelson. They did it with Bakhtiari. I think they did it with Kenny Clark, if I remember right. No, Kenny was midseason. But they've done that, where it's like first day at camp, big important player, sign a contract extension, and away they go. It's definitely been their MO in the past, and I suspect that's how we'll see Jair get done. New School 514. Thanks for the sticker, buddy. Appreciate it. What else we got here? Okay, I got that. Got a few more here. Marshall, what's up, man? Cheap Casey Hayward returned as cornerback 4. Is he out there on the market? I thought I saw he signed with someone. I know, because I knew he was a free agent, but I think I saw he signed. I could be totally crazy. You guys tell me in the comment section. I know you will. Pumpkin Pie, what's on? What's going on? Hey, I saw something about a Wonderlic test, and players very rarely are good when they score low on it. Walker and Wyatt had low score. And explain, please. Pumpkin Pie, whoever told you that about the correlation between the Wonderlic and playing football well, you can completely set to ignore for the rest of your life. This has been debunked ad nauseum plenty of times. It means nothing. It means nothing. It means so little that the Wonderlic score isn't even mentioned or referenced in scouting in the NFL anymore. Like, it means absolutely nothing. Pay no attention. Zero. Everybody learns differently. That test obviously can exploit where guys are deficient in certain areas as far as how they have learned things, but it doesn't even come close to denoting intelligence, let alone football intelligence, which is the only thing that matters for these young men in their new profession. So yeah, you can safely ignore all of that. All right, everybody, I'm going to have to get going. Can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like and hit subscribe. But before you do that, check out the Cheesehead TV shop. That's right. We still have the May the 4th promo going on all the way through Sunday, all the way through the weekend. Go to the Cheesehead TV shop. Use the promo code May the 4th to get 10% off all our merch. 10% off all of our merch. Use promo code May the 4th. Now through Sunday. Do it, people. Link will be in the description of this video, or you can go to the cheeseheadtv.com homepage and just click on shop there at the top. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Tell your friends, tell your family. Cheesehead TV. We're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great day. Go Pack, go.